got a great situation now, man. And you know what? The first thing I watched on it was Dune Part 1.
Oh wow!
From our boy Denis Villeneuve. I watched about the first 12 minutes of that flick, dude.
You watched Doom,
and
the movie with The Rock. The video game.
Yeah. Actually, that's
Nice, dude. That sounds really like a really good use of that brand new panel.
I found it for free on Vudu.
Nice.
Freevee.
Got it in the bargain bin at Walmart.
DVD. You hook up your DVD player.
Hello and welcome to Grasstouchers, the show where the three of us pals, after taking a week off, catch up and talk about video games and how little time we have for them, not to mention all the other grass touching that we are doing around these parts. I am Jake.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Greg's stuck in he's stuck in a tunnel right now.
Yeah, he's in an experimental Elon Musk boring tunnel, and he's currently recording the podcast.
That's what his job is. The teacher thing is a cover.
That's a cover, yeah. He's a secret agent, dude. Boys, it's been a good one. I missed you last week. I have so much to talk about. I can't even believe. Jared, let's do it. What up?
Check it out. I put my mic in my pocket.
Brilliant. Yeah, genius.
It's pretty cool.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Patting that shirt right now.
Yeah. Let me just rip this Carhartt patch off of it. I have been to more weddings than I can count in the past couple weeks. I'm retarded because I can only count to one because I went to two weddings. But they were both very good weddings. I enjoyed them very much. I was in one of them. The other didn't have a wedding party.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the first one because I ruined it. That's how That's how I do.
Did you throw down? Did you get sloppy? Just let everybody see the real side.
I got sloppy. Yeah. I made everyone think that everything was going to be fine, and then as soon as it came time to actually do the ceremony, I took my pants off and I walked down the aisle like nothing was wrong. And I wear like
Andre sketch.
Yeah, I wear like old timey like World War II underpants that have no pants. They're not briefs, like straight up. You know, and my little butt cheeks out
through the barest cotton.
Right. The vintage World War II underpants. That was good though. A couple weddings. I did not actually take my pants off. I've played a little bit of Dota here and there. I know that's shocked everybody out there who regularly listens. I played some Dota. I went on a massive, depressing, just arduous losing streak. I mean, I really couldn't believe it. I deranked, and it was a whole thing. I cried. I wept. I pooped in my little pants. I stomped my feet. Yeah, it was really a scene. But I'm on the upswing now. Things are looking better.
Cool.
I canceled my Xbox Game Pass because it was just too expensive, and I haven't been using it enough. I just haven't been using it enough. And the only game I play is with my family, and you can play Overwatch without a subscription because it's a free game, dude.
Oh, dip.
Yeah,
definitely cancel it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's pretty rad. What else did I do? Oh man, a little of this. A little bit of that. I went to the state capitol and I climbed on the highest building I could find with a rifle and a beret, and I demanded that they bring back Schlotzsky's. Bring it back. Where did it go? And the
militant wing of the Schlotzsky's
right
corporate policy department.
And I fell back on. I settled on. Make the grinder at EG's the same size that it used to be. They got new owners at the EG's. For those of you who aren't aware of the local Tucson favorite, EG's has
and
new ownership.
Phoenix, I think, isn't there?
They've been branching out to Phoenix.
How do you spell that?
EEGEE. '*S.
Did you ever have EGs when you would come visit, Deg?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Ranch fries.
Ranch fries, pizza fries, grinders. They have new ownership, though, and they changed a lot of the things, to my chagrin. It used to be, like, truly probably my favorite place, and they've kind of not ruined it, but they've lowered it to a place that makes me very, very sad. I went to the comic shop this morning, which is massively out of my way. Truly the opposite direction from where I work, which is also far. I went like a far away to a comic shop to get one specific comic, and they were sold out this morning. So,
Dang.
So then I
what were you trying to nab?
Again. I was trying to. There's a Psylocke solo series that came out. First issue came out today, and all the regulars put it in their pull boxes, and I feel like a real boob for not pre-ordering it somewhere else. Dang. But that's how it goes sometimes. Other than that, yeah, man, just a lot of defecating in my pants. Actually, I've got something I want to bring up. I want to bring something up. There was a story that I told a while back where I ran out of gas. I don't know if you guys recall. It was on this podcast.
At least twice, actually, since we started the podcast, I think, yeah.
Did I run out of gas twice?
Or Gabby did. I can't remember now.
No, I don't. Maybe. Well, anyways,
like it happened twice.
I ran out of gas, and I told you that I had to get a can, and then I went to a gas station to get gas, and I told you that there was a guy on a motorized scooter.
Yep.
Dude, there's something going on over at that gas station, because I see different people on motorized scooters like constantly, and I'm trying to figure out why. This is the Lily's Plaza.
Yeah.
Where you used to live.
Oh, I know about it. Is it a gang, dude? Is it a motorcycle
That's
club?
kind of what I was getting at. Is
These guys rolling deep, dude?
I just wanted to put it out there, kind of like the people who get too deep into the conspiracies, who like actually get too deep to where it's dangerous, and they'll send out like a tweet. They're like, "I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna have a heart attack. I'm not gonna shoot myself in the back of the head, execution style, in a hotel in the middle of nowhere." But I have information leading to the arrest of the leader of the wheelchair gang, and then I want to put that out there right now that I'm not going to kill myself.
Okay,
I'm not going to shoot myself. I'm in execution style. I'm not going to kill myself by getting having a wheelchair roll over me 1,000 times until I die.
Okay, cool.
So if that happens to me, then you'll know. Then you guys need to be the ones.
We're gonna roll up. We're gonna pull up to Lily's, and we're gonna figure it out.
Clean house. You and Day are gonna have to leave your wives for a week. Do some Boondock Saint stuff.
We'll show up on my BMW electric motorcycle.
Deg's riding from the BMW.
One of these Sons of Anarchy. Gonna roll up real quiet on my electric scooter.
Yeah, dude, it's silent.
Hey, I heard you guys killed my friend.
Yeah. So that's what's going on in my life. Deg, how's it hanging?
Nice, dude.
Good. It's really good. I haven't been playing a lot of video games recently. My son is at such a fun age right now, and he's at the age where he is literally perfect. Like, he can do no wrong. He does, even when he like cries or keeps us up or whatever. I'm like, oh, but you're still so cute and perfect,
Yep.
And he can roll over, and he can roll himself back over now, so that's cool. And
you guys got one of those mats that he can like lay on the mat and then like play with the stuff,
Yeah, we've got a huge. I wish I could take this webcam into the living room. It takes up the entire living room.
Wow.
Casey got one of those gigantic playpen things, and but it's awesome. And he plays with his feet, and he rolls over, and I think he'll be crawling in a month or two, probably. 2 months, I think. 7 months is when they say.
That's when it gets spicy. They get mobile.
I know, and it's bad news for Daddy. But no, he's at such a fun age, and I'm just enjoying that. That's a huge part of my life right now, is just enjoying him.
Of course, that's awesome.
And enjoying watching my wife be a mom is just, there's nothing like it, and she's incredible, and so that's great. I did, DC released DC is pretty notorious for having much better animated media generally than they do live action things, right? And so I did watch the Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's a 3-movie set that just came out this year. And it's very, very good. Very long, like each movie's, animated movies, and each movie is
like literally a trilogy, like 3 movies that are all released at the same time, or had they come out before and this was like a
they all came out
box set? Or
they all came out within a few months of each other this year. So I think one came out in like May or June, then in like August, and then last month, sort of situation, I think. And so, but all told, the trilogy's like 3 hours, probably 3.5 hours. And it's really good. So that's cool. Watched a little bit of that. And yeah, just, work's busy, and, kind of the one portion of my season in my job is kind of slowed down, and the others picked back right up quick. And so I'm busy again, and looking forward to cooler weather. I live in Texas, so it's just been here, for so long.
What's it like lately?
It finally feels good. In the morning and afternoon, it feels pretty perfect.
Right.
And that's great. I personally, it's funny, I am a teacher, so I was talking to some of my students, like, you're from Texas, like, what weather do you guys prefer? Because I'm from North Carolina originally, right? I like being cold. Now, I don't mean uncomfortably cold, but I like putting a hoodie on and feeling a little bit of a chill.
Same,
I love that feeling of the first little hint of heat in my car, but I don't want it. I don't want it full blast on heat. Like, I want to be just 5% uncomfortable my whole drive to work. That's what I love.
Yeah.
And we're starting to get there, and my kids are like, "Oh no, we 45 degrees is freezing cold." I'm like, it's literally not, but it's it's not even objectively cold, And so I'm loving the time of year. You're starting to feel like fall, which in Texas, we have fall 3 months late, so that's pretty cool. And so obviously Arizona is kind of the same situation, I'm guessing, but it's finally starting to feel like the holidays, and Halloween's passed and Thanksgiving coming up and all that stuff. Yes. I did get a Peloton tread, which is I'm going to talk more about later, but that's super cool. And been enjoying that. My wife has too. Trying to find ways to preempt the winter when it's too cold to walk outside or whatever regularly. And so, anyways, what about you, Jake?
Right on, dog. I love all that. I have been a busy bee. I've got a bit of a multimedia just whole thing that I've engaged in the past week or so. So I'll start with this. I got a new TV. Hey, come on. Hey. So good. Oh, my gosh. Shout out to my mom, Tracy Phillips. She's the best in the world. She's a sweet, perfect angel. I love my mom so much. That's not a joke. She hit me up. She goes, hey, I need to buy a TV for the living room. My mom bought a house a couple years ago. She's been slowly renovating it, doing all this great stuff. It looks like HGTV in there. She does a great job. And she's like, hey, you're Mr. IT over there. Like, help me out, What should I get? And I was like, well, what are you thinking? And she's like, well, I know I want OLED. I was like, that's right. Good job. And she's like, I'm looking at this one. And she sends me at Costco for $1,000 a 65-inch Samsung OLED panel. And I was like, that's a great deal. You should buy that right now. I'll go with you to pick it up. Don't pay for shipping. Let's go. And she was like, okay, great. I'm glad I did a good job. Like, I thought this was a good one. I read the reviews, blah, blah. Do you need one? And I was like, do I need one? I mean, need is a strong word. I should probably talk to my wife. Let's be clear. But I, for a while, have been putting up with stripes, these vertical lines on my TV. We bought it in 2016. Jared, back when I lived in Oro Valley at the Gulf Villas, we bought that TV then. It was a minute ago. And so it's starting to show its age. It was a Vizio 55-inch 4K, LED TV, and it's been good to us. But since we've moved into this house, it's gotten a little ancient in TV years. So I said, well, darling wife of mine, who I love very much, my mom is willing to give us this like very early Christmas present. She was like, check it out, And my wife goes, I've been getting sick of those lines, Jake. I'm starting to, because I was the first one to notice the lines, and my wife rolls her eyes, and she's like, "It's fine. What's the big deal?" And then another one shows up, and another one shows up, and we're trying to watch football. We're trying to watch the Great British Baking Show, and my wife was like, "Man, those lines, those are rough. This sucks." So yeah, me and my mom had a little date together this past weekend, and we went to Raleigh. We went to Costco. We went to get coffee. We went to get sushi. It was delightful. So shout out to moms.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, though.
Very cool.
You said Samsung. It's an LG, I thought.
So Pivot, she found the Samsung on the Costco website. That was not available at any of the Costcos that were in striking distance of us. So we pivoted to an LG. We both got the same TV. They had like 6 of them in stock at the Costco that we went to. So we did not get that same TV.
You made the right
at that
choice.
Deal. Yeah.
The LGs are the best OLED panels.
Well, because LG like makes them, right? And then a lot of their panels get sold to the other companies, and they mark up from there. If I understand correctly.
And the Samsungs, if I just got done buying one of these a while ago, and I did as much research as I could, the LGs have the best picture. Sony's got the best audio. But the Samsungs are like kind of the bottom of the pack on the OLED. So you made a good choice, dude.
Yeah, honestly, dude, it was such an upgrade to get OLED anything. I was basically gonna win no matter what, and I got young kids. They could be throwing a baseball in the downstairs right now and breaking the TV, and they'll pay for it. I'll take it out of them, but
oh wow, here we go.
But I'm not one to like get too picky. I just wanted the fact that it's gonna be OLED at all. I was like, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, so yeah, we got a great situation now, man, and. You know what the first thing I watched on it was Dune Part 1.
Oh, wow.
From our boy Denis Villeneuve. I watched about the first 12 minutes of that flick, dude.
You watched Doom?
And
the movie with The Rock? The video game?
Yeah, actually. That's, yeah.
Nice, dude. That sounds really like a really good use of that brand new panel.
I found it for free on Vudu.
Nice.
Freevee.
Got it in the bargain bin at Walmart.
DVD.
Yeah,
you hook up
I
your
got a
DVD
sweet. I got a sweet new wall mount, and it was a 300 by 300 Visa standard on the back there, and it's like rock steady on the wall just above the mantle. I still think it's going to end up at some point on r/TV too high because where our mantle is, it's sort of the only focal point that you could possibly orient anything in the room, and I really don't like how high up it is, but it pans down, it tilts down just right, and with the first thing that my wife saw on it was the red Netflix logo, and the red letter N came up against a perfectly pitch black background of the OLED screen, and my wife was like, "It's so red." She's like, couldn't believe it. It was so good. So yeah, new TV rules. If you're in the market for a TV, can't recommend OLED enough. It costs a pretty penny, but not if you have the best mom in the world. And then I played a game in my backlog that I've had.
Claim.
I purchased it on Steam. 2 years ago. It was Game of the Year by a lot of people's standards, called Inscription. That's INSCRYPTION. It's basically a deck builder, and I normally would not be down, but every time I heard about this game when it came out and got all this Game of the Year traffic, I was like, what's the big deal? Everybody's talking about this game. And without spoiling it, people would say like, dude, have you gotten to the part where the whole thing changes completely? And I was like, what do they mean by that? But nobody would say because they didn't want to spoil it for anybody. So I, a couple years ago, bought the game for like $20 or whatever because it's an indie game. And I thought that I got to what they were talking about, and I was incorrect. The game changes even more. When you first play at the beginning of the game, you're like in this cabin in the woods. It's all very spooky. It's not like a horror game, but it's this like low poly deck builder hostage situation where you're forced to play this weird macabre card game against this guy that you can't really make out his figure. You just sort of see these glowing guys in the dark, and he's like kind of berating you and treating you like you're stupid, and he's like changing the rules of the card game.
It's Alec Baldwin.
And it's basically Alec Baldwin actually the whole time. And so at a certain point, you realize there's more to this than meets the eye. You are you're allowed to get up from the chair that you're sitting in, and you can like move around the cabin, and there's like stuff to find and do, and there's mysteries that are sort of unlocked over time, and you're like, well, what is this for? What does this do? What does this mean? And this isn't much of a spoiler because it happens in the first like 20 minutes of the game. Some of the cards start talking to you, which is very interesting.
Whoa.
And they start telling like a different story where they're like, hey man, we can beat this guy. Here's what you got to do. And so it builds and builds and builds. And there's this meta narrative outside of that I refuse to spoil. That is very, very, very cool. The game truly changes like dramatically.
Right. And the cards just like spoiling. They start spoiling old movies. They're like, and Bruce Willis is dead the whole time. You're like, shut up, stupid cards.
I haven't seen Heat yet. Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah, they start doing that. It's very cool. When I first played the game, I gave it like 2 hours, and I couldn't get past this sort of first like barrier of beating this guy at this card game. Well, I beat him at the card game, and then got to the next sort of thing. So seriously, if you have like, I don't know, a Saturday and a few hours on your hands, and you're like, I want to do something different than what I've been doing, Inscription, big ups, big recommend. I haven't beat it yet, but I'm gonna return to it. It's very, very cool. The next thing on the multimedia extravaganza is a movie that I have, as of earlier this afternoon, watched the first like 40 minutes of. It's something that was highly recommended in the like film bro sphere. It's called The Substance. It was at the Cannes Film Festival. It's a horror flick.
This is the Demi Moore one?
Do not. Yes. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not plugged into like the film bro scene very frequently. Occasionally I'll check in, right? I have a buddy who's quite the Criterion freaking like film bro,
right.
And he and I chat occasionally about this kind of thing. And I kept seeing The Substance crop up, and then I watched a Red Letter Media video about their top like horror movies of the year. Just like while I was at work, I sort of left it playing in the background. And when it got to the end of that video, they talked about some of their favorites of the year. And Jay Bauman from Red Letter Media was like, dog, this is my favorite horror movie of the year. It's not even close. Number one. And it's one of my top 5 like ever now. It's insane. I can't believe they did it, blah, blah, blah. So as he talked about it, it sounded like just like a 2-hour long episode of Black Mirror. And I love Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot. I love when there's like, here's the world as you know it, but there's one weird twist about the world. There's a premise. There's a thing. It sounded Twilight Zone. Exactly. It sounded vaguely like sci-fi sort of as a premise. This thing. Demi Moore plays a rapidly aging out of sexiness like actress lady that is the star of herself, and she's it's basically one big satire about Hollywood and its problem with like sort of making women's bodies into like bags of meat, right?
Sure.
And I'm down for any critique of that kind of stuff, sure. Well, she plays this character who like has basically been ousted out of her role as the lead in like an aerobics show. It's very like jazzercise. Not something that's really popular today, but that's the premise.
Sure.
And they kick her out, and she's like, too old, kicked to the curb, and she hears about this thing called The Substance. She doesn't really know what it is. She gets this flash drive. She plugs it in. I'm skipping over a lot. And she finds out it's this thing. It's a treatment, a drug, if you will, that you inject into your body, and it promises that there'll be a new you, a new version of you, younger, sexier, fitter, everything. Remember how you used to be so perfect? Here's a perfect version of you. But there's some catches. You have to switch back to your other body every 7 days, no exceptions. And it doesn't really explain, like, how do you get this other body? What the heck are you talking about? Well, it grows, like, out of you, dog. Her back splits in half, and her new 20-year-old body, like, creeps out of it. It's so insane.
Wow.
It's a little bit of body horror. If you're squeamish, gonna say maybe don't watch it, okay? But I've watched the first 40 minutes, and it's not totally, like, icked me. But I'm kind of terrified of where it's going to go, because I can see that it's like this really interesting, satire. And it's satire with a capital S, big exclamation point. Like, it's very caricature. Yeah. Everybody is a caricature. The colors are bright. The sound design is very, like, impactful and sort of grotesque and like I don't know. I think it'll be really interesting.
That's kind of something that I have an issue with these days. It's kind of annoying to me, which is why I think I enjoy things that like I'm going back and enjoying movies that were just like mine. I watched what was that movie? I think it was Lord of War with Nick Cage.
Lord of War.
It's just a stupid movie. It's like really, it was fine. It was a fine movie on its own, but like it was just very simplistic, and there was nothing like
2005 crime drama film.
Yeah,
Roger.
But like nowadays, it's like whenever I hear something's good, that people, if I don't watch it first, somebody's like, "It's so good." What did you like? What did you think to somebody else? Because they're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, you have to watch it." And they're like, "What did you think about the third time that that the main character was sodomized? But like, what? Like, weren't you like, whoa?" And it's like, I don't want to watch somebody get.
I know.
3 times for a movie because it's like that's the thing. It's got to be like shocking to be like interesting, and it's like no. And I'm not spitting on this movie. I'm sure it's got its merits. Like you sound like you've already enjoyed it, and I'm sure it's really good.
And I would typically, to be clear, I typically bounce way immediately off of this kind of thing, but it was spooky season just a little while ago, and I thought, I haven't watched anything spooky in a long, long time. And I do this occasionally. The last one of these that I remember really enjoying was Parasite. Great flick. Where like I hadn't seen a spooky
Human
kind of movie in a
Centipede would
while.
go on.
Oh my
Human
gosh.
Centipede, right.
Right, no.
I had the strangest itch after watching this YouTube video about horror movies to like go get my spook on a little bit. And it had been a little while since I watched something that was challenging. Yeah. And I thought, well, everybody seems to like this one. Maybe I'll give it a shot. And I started a 7-day free trial of some freaking streaming service, and I put a reminder on my calendar to cancel it 6 days from now. So
Nice.
We'll see where it goes. I think it'll be interesting. It's certainly not for everyone. And then my last one, fellas, is I've got a new band I'm into.
Hold on,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Before you go on to the next topic, I have to say that reminds me a lot of Living with Yourself. Did you guys watch that Netflix series that was 1 season only with Paul Rudd, Living with Yourself?
Living with yourself.
No.
It is a thriller comedy. It's a dark comedy, I guess. And the premise
2019 TV series, existential comedy.
Is that the Will Ferrell one?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Paul Rudd undergoes a what do you call it? Experimental procedure that's supposed to make him better, right?
Okay.
And I'm just going to spoil it because it happens in the first, again, like you said, Jacob, the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
What they actually do, that these people promise that basically a guy he works with got the procedure, and he's like, all these girls want to be around him. He's fitter. He's a slightly better looking version of himself. He's more talkative, all this stuff, right? And so Paul Rudd's like down in the dumps, right? All this stuff. So he goes and gets the procedure done. What they actually do is they clone you and then murder you and bury you. And so Paul Rudd gets cloned, and you obviously don't know that they clone you, right?
Yeah.
And they clone like your memories and all this stuff. And what happens is Paul Rudd's procedure goes wrong, and they underdose him or whatever with the drug that's supposed to kill him. And so he wakes up 6 feet under the ground, buried in the dirt, and claws his way to the surface.
So there's just 2 of them rolling around
So there's
now.
2 of them out in the world.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very good. I'm shocked it hasn't gotten picked up for a second season yet.
Sure.
And anyways,
Well,
you
it
talking about
sounds
reminded me.
incredibly similar. You're exactly
Yeah.
correct. This movie goes into it sounds like it explores that from a the thing about the movie is these 2 things, people, creatures, whatever, they don't exist at the same time. One is unconscious on your bathroom floor, and then the other one is out in the world, and you have to switch between. And you have Severance. This is
Season 2
a
coming
common
out in 2
theme. I'm
months, by the
realizing.
way.
I'm so stoked about that show. Oh my gosh. This is a common theme I'm realizing in a couple pieces of media, right? Splitting yourself in some way. What does that look like? And so this movie takes that to an extreme. And there's lots of close-ups of the sort of bodily parts of that. It's more or less body horror. But anyway, I'll keep you posted later today. If I text you at 1 a.m., it's because I can't sleep because I scared myself and I pooped my pants. And
man.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to watch something spooky, and supposedly it gets pretty gnarly. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Dang. Well, if you want to watch something
and then,
even more horrific, you can watch Striptease after that. Also starring Demi Moore.
I've never
terrible
seen
movie.
that.
Yeah, me
imagine
either.
It's just really bad.
Dag's never seen that, dude. It's like the movie Showgirls.
Oh, yeah. Now
Just
that
atrocious.
was one of the only movies ever that went NC-17. I think is that right?
I
If
think
remember
so.
that right?
Something like that.
Showgirls?
I know it was
I haven't
really,
seen
really
it.
bad.
Yeah. Full disclosure about the substance. It's like super naked stuff just going on all the time, and it's not flattering necessarily. So it's not for the childrens, and it's not for the faint of heart either. The last thing I was going to say is there's just a new band that I like. They're from Ireland. They're like a pop punk folk-ish band called Picture This, and they're really great. And that's all I want to say about that because I've already taken too much time.
Check it out, guys.
It's a cool band. A band called Picture This. I want to hear more about this Degatron that you've got sitting behind you. Those of you that are just listening, I can see the new device behind our pal Deg. Tell us what you got there, bud.
So my wife and I bought a Peloton tread, which, shout out, you can actually use an HSA account to pay for. Just want to point that out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so, anyways, it's great. So we ordered it 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, and within like 4 days, they came and they install it for you. They bring it in pieces.
Does it have to be like mounted to something?
No,
or you mean just like put it together?
Put it together because like obviously a full like treadmill will not fit through the door frame sort of situation, and
sure. Okay.
and it's got a lot of components because it's got the big screen, and all the things, all the wiring for all that, and such, and they have to put the belt, the tread belt on and all that stuff. Okay. So, anyways, I was at work when they came and installed it, and my wife said that they did it like really, really quickly, and they helped her like get started on it and all that stuff. And anyways, you do have to have a Peloton subscription, which we already had with the bike, and that gets you access to all the classes, which are super cool. I'll talk about that in just 1 second. But the device itself is super sleek. It is very futuristic looking. It's very, very intuitive. The screen is large. I think it's a 27-inch screen, which is good, very good for a treadmill. And you can just do like any other treadmill. You can just set the speed and incline and go to town, right? You can just kind of freestyle, do that yourself. You can also, it has YouTube TV and Hulu and Disney Plus, so you can Bluetooth. You can Bluetooth the screen to your headphones or whatever, and watch TV while you do it, which is super cool. And so I was on Monday.
Are you telling me I could get on my Peloton and listen to Grasstouchers or watch a Grasstouchers YouTube video at the same time?
I'm absolutely telling you that you can and should do that.
That's right. Wow.
But like Monday night, I was watching Monday Night Football on the Peloton and just going for a walk, and it was great. Yes. And so that's cool. The device itself, in terms of how you speed up and slow down things, it's very different from like a normal treadmill. So there's just a wheel on each side. Like on the inside, it's like a spinny wheel. So like as you're going, you can just spin it forward and you go faster with your right hand. The speed is your right hand and the incline is your left hand. So you can just like spin it. I'm going faster. Yank it back. I'm going slow. And it's very sturdy. I mean, it's not as sturdy as like a large. It's a little smaller than a standard treadmill, so it's a little. Okay. It wobbles a little bit. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't wobble to the point where the screen is not, where the screen's shaky, right?
Sure.
Doesn't bother me that much. But that's cool. The classes are great because there's all sorts of like couch to 5K things. There's marathon training. There's everything. There's like for all levels that you can possibly imagine. And then they also like the bike, the screen pivots, and they have weightlifting and they have abs and yoga, and so you can turn the screen and put down a yoga mat or whatever, and grab some weights and do that. So it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
I like that they keep a record of all your workouts, and I've got like my Apple Watch, and it's got the Peloton app, and whenever I get on the treadmill and I start, my watch goes, "Are you on the Peloton?" And I hit yes, and it syncs up,
Right.
and it obviously heart rate
Capture all that health data.
captures all that health data. It's like, man, you're really excreting a lot of bush ice in your sweat.
Don't remind me.
And like, thanks, Peloton. But it automatically, when you take a class, so first of all, there are two kinds of classes. There are like recorded classes, which pretty much always start live, right? And they're recorded. And then there are live classes, right? You can actually like, all right, there's an actual instructor, Peloton instructor in some office building in New York, probably.
Right.
And they're going to lead you through this, and you can see all the people that are attending. And
Are there like time slots to sign up for, or are they just sort of fixed and you join like it's a Twitch stream, or like
it's like a Twitch stream. Yeah, so
Okay.
it'll be like, and I think they are at like the same recurring times, right? But there's some at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, like they're pretty good about all hours of the day doing it. But you can see
That
like,
is really cool. I do not have one of these, to be clear, but I think it's such a neat, like fun and informative, innovative like thing to be able to do. Is like, I really want to have a personal trainer. I really need accountability, but I don't have friends, or I work from home all day, or I fill in the blank, and then you can do this and connect with someone. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's great for Casey with that because, my wife, with that because my wife, she can have a meeting, and if it's at a point of the meeting where she doesn't have to talk, it's a Zoom meeting, she doesn't have to speak for 30 minutes, she's just watching, that she can
might as well be walking on a treadmill.
Yeah, she can get on the treadmill the whole time, right? And you can also set it so that like your health stuff is put on a leaderboard during the live classes, so you can see how many calories people are burning if they have that turned on, right? You can see how many calories they're burning, the distance they've gone, the kilowatts in terms of energy they've output. I don't really know why they measure that, but
That's just another number. Make the number go higher.
And so, no, it's very cool. And
don't they do shout outs? I saw a YouTube short one time that was like Peloton instructors that got fooled into saying a dirty word because they were trying to do a shout out for whoever was in first place on some leaderboard. Wow. And then they like said, "Oh, good job, Dixie Normus, everybody." I heard it as soon as I said it. You got me. All those that you heard, in like fifth grade, all those.
Yeah, one of the other things I think is cool that just made me feel, I was like, that's neat, is there's achievements. There's like badges and achievements and stuff. And so, of course,
gamify it.
It's very gamified. And so, but they have all sorts, you can see all the possible ones. And so you can, like, on mine, all the ones I haven't gotten are grayed out. And so I've got, like, you walked your first mile, which happened the very first day, right? And then you can scroll, like, all the way over, and it's like, ran your first marathon on the Peloton treadmill. And so, anyways, it scales up as pretty much as far as you could possibly want.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I talked about that longer than I intended to, but
I hope
really
the instructors berate the people at the bottom as much as they give props to the people at the top, and just give them.
Right.
You walk like old people.
Wow.
Do you know that?
Yeah, Nicholas Gar. yourself. That's right. Talking
Huge
to you, Mr. Gar.
Yeah, I bet you have a huge, you slow mother.
Yeah.
I love that so much because you like you said, you and Casey have found a way to insulate yourselves from excuses of like, oh, well, it's raining. Guess I can't exercise today. Guess I'll eat some lasagna and bush ice instead. Like
who you, Garfield?
Lasagna and bush ice.
Yeah. If Garfield pledged Phi Mu Alpha, yeah.
You and John
lasagna and bush
Arbuckle
ice.
hanging out, drinking bush ice and just going to town on some lasagna.
But I've already noticed a few times where, because I don't have an excuse anymore, I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. Like yesterday morning, I woke up a little later than I meant to, and I originally intended on, walking longer than I ended up, and I, did my normal morning ritual of sitting there in silence on the toilet, convincing myself to wake up. And not
familiar.
Yeah. And I got to the point where I was like, man, I only have 30 minutes to like run now. I went, oh, wait, all I got to do is walk in my office. And so I did, and I got a 30-minute walk/run in and felt way better all day yesterday than I would have if I didn't do that. Like, I just felt, I felt so good. I had a sectional at 7 o'clock for an hour and a half, and I was letting kids in the building. I was like, good morning, guys. How you doing? You know, just like, and they're like,
They give you this look like, shut up.
Yeah.
Why are you so chipper, Mr. David?
Yeah. And so it was, good decision. And so I've done like 4 days in a row now of walking and running. So that's cool. So that's good.
My man. Yes.
Got some new shoes, which I'm not going to spend a long time talking about. I got some Hokas, which are nice and much more comfortable. Sure. I found out I was wearing a size too big in shoes. They scanned my foot at this running store, and they said, "Yeah, your shoes are too big. Like you need to wear." And it made a huge difference. So much more comfortable.
Cool.
So, anyways,
I love that.
Man.
So
yeah, sincerely, big ups. That's good stuff. Keep the W's coming.
I don't know if I'd have consented to that foot scan. Some perverts probably like, I already know what size shoe he needs, but I'm going to give him a foot scan.
Somebody in China has a 3D printed replica of your foot shoved up there.
I was going to say, exactly, dude. The Chinese love it because they love the idea that they're
big American foot.
Most beautiful foot. I will shove it up my ass.
Oh, yeah, see? Oh, wait, wrong accent.
Oh, yeah, see? Give me that fake foot there. I'm going to shove it up my
Oh, Poontang in India is very cool, man.
Very cool, man. Wait, hold on. Why does this say it belongs to a Douglas? I thought this was from a baby mama. Dude, that Reddit post I sent you with the Indian guy who did the Sandman costume? So awesome, dude. I was so happy when I saw that, man. He's so psyched to be in that costume. It's just like his stupid hammer.
I am the coolest person alive because
right.
I made this myself. I saved up 4 years of pay.
Yeah. He is Sandman. He is Sandman without the hammer, if you know what I mean, folks.
Oh, come on.
Over there.
I got a hammer for you right here.
Whoa.
Hey, side note, did you know that there is a UNCG alum who is a Peloton instructor? He's like one of the famous ones.
I thought you were going to say it.
I did know that.
Did you know?
Yeah. Cody Rigsby is this guy's name. I remember I saw in my email inbox the UNCG alum newsletter that constantly asks me for money that I do not give. And I was like, hey, Spartan has made it to the top. And then there's like this whole article. It was back in February. I'm looking at it.
Is that the top? Is Peloton the top? Did nobody tell me?
Well, speaking of getting shiny new toys, boys, do we have a Christmas wish list beginning to form? What are we asking Santa Claus for? Do we have anything that's at the top of the mind? What's up? What are we saving for? What are we asking for? What's up?
I don't think I have anything super specific. I know that Retroid did just drop the RP5.
Oh, here we go.
I know. I like handhelds. I think they're great. I think it's just...
Wait, Jared, do you like handhelds?
Bro, you better chill over there, dude. Keep those Peloton hands off of me, pal. No. Speedy. He's doing the monster mash, ladies and gentlemen. But that'd be cool. There's a fascination with playing it's something innate. When the games we played as kids on our giant tube televisions with our big consoles, and that broke all the time, and the games were impossible to acquire because they were always, you didn't have any money, and now it's like, oh, you can play every single one of them in the palm of your hands, in the same space that you could hold Greg's foot, molded foot,
3D printed foot.
Yeah, 3D printed foot before you shove it up your. So I'm pretty excited to eventually. I think I'm going to skip this gen. I honestly think I'm going to skip this gen. See what comes out the next gen, because I want to see some I want them to start to scratch a little higher than PS2, GameCube,
Sure.
You know, that
Dude,
era.
there's some Xbox 360 games that I would absolutely circle back to.
Yeah.
That if I had that kind of thing in the palm of my hands, you know, something a little smaller than a Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck, but I don't play it like that much.
Yeah.
Do you see they released a white Steam Deck OLED?
Yeah. Looks
So
cool.
mad, dude. I wish they would have had more colorways when I first bought mine. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
You know me, I like things to be white when I have
That
when I have a
well,
choice.
bro, you need to. You're just creating work for yourself here. He's gonna cut
Yeah,
so
I
much
really-
stuff out.
I need to chill a little bit.
You proliferating unchilled rhetoric. All right, we have to do one closing thing that actually will be left in the podcast. Otherwise, it's gonna be like a 5-minute podcast, dude.
I agree. I'm going to keep in a portion of what you said. I'm going to add that what I want for Christmas is I'm going to commission Retroid. I'm going to ship them that 3D printed foot. And I'm going to ask them to build a PS1 emulator of the foot and the little toes.
Yeah.
Are the controllers. Joysticks and the buttons.
Dang, dude, that's a great idea.
It's pretty sweet. You know what I want for Christmas for reals?
Yeah.
Is some gun stuff, dude. Like I got a whole shopping cart full of things that I want to build at AR, and I'm like, how do I go about doing this? And I think I'm gonna ask for like Amazon gift cards for some of it, and then others I might have to look at other places. I don't know. There's like just cool kind of outdoorsy stuff. But I do this every like Christmas where like I buy camping stuff for me and the family. I'm like, we're gonna be like, cool, I'm going to wear this plaid shirt every day, and I'm going to grow my hair out, and I'm going to go camping with my family on the weekends, and then every weekend is booked.
Right,
with, like,
right.
some snot-nosed kid's birthday party or, like, stuff going on, you know, and I'm like, we're never going to go camping, are we? And my wife brings it up, and she's like, hey, when are we going to go camping with all that stuff you bought that year? And I'm like, shut up, woman, if you don't. Yeah, I think that's what I want for Christmas is big boy toys.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea. Those are things you can use. I'm really racking my brain here. I go for I'm kind of hard to shop for some vintage shirts, vintage Marvel shirts, which are pretty expensive and will take up the bulk of anything that I get, I'm sure.
Right. Dag, what's on your Christmas list? Doc?
Yeah,
What do you got,
what's going on?
Well, honestly, our Christmas, we bought our present for each other, which was the Peloton. That was the big thing.
Sure.
We were gonna get going to
Budget-wise
get an
and all.
OLED TV. That was gonna be our Christmas present to each other, was the OLED TV. But my wife said one or the other, and I said, well, we can deal with the TV we got for until January when I beg you for a new one.
We'll circle back.
Actually, no. One thing that actually I've wanted for several years now that is not happening at Christmas, but I got a quote for today, and I'm going to be getting in May or June, is redoing our backyard, putting sod down, having a company come in, a landscaping company come in and till like the whole backyard and put down St. Augustine sod, and so we're gonna have actual grass in the backyard and all that. The quote that I got was like way cheaper than I thought it was gonna be because I got a connection. One of my former parents from work owns this company,
cool.
and like I'm pretty sure the quote he sent me was like straight up at cost. It was
Nice, dude.
like you can edit this part out, but like normally for a yard of my size, like to completely replace all the grass, it'd be like $10,000, right?
Oh my gosh.
And he quoted me at $5,000 to completely for them to do all like pull everything out, till everything, and to pay for the actual grass itself and the installation. The whole thing was like $5,000, and so, anyways, that's kind of a
Nice, dude.
something we're gonna save up for until May, and get done
Cool, dude.
because my backyard looks disgusting. So
Just when I thought we couldn't be any more of a Grass Toucher podcast, Dag over here talking about installing grass to touch.
Wow.
Incredible stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, thank you so much for joining us this week. Hope you enjoyed it. We missed you last week. We're gonna crank it up this holiday season. We're gonna have some fun around here. We're gonna record some stuff. We're gonna get some video games playing between the three of us, and we hope that you do the same. But don't forget, get out there and touch some grass.